We recognize the stunning quality of these allegations. But in the end, these are not allegations made by R. Kelly. These are not allegations made by my office. These are allegations made by men who were solicited by government prosecutors and Bureau of Prisons officials to first violate the constitutional rights of Mr. Kelly and secure his unjust convictions, and second, to kill him.
So apparently, R. Kelly and his team are suing the Department of Justice, okay? I was actually added to that lawsuit as well, but I'm on a stay for 5 years.
I watched people have a field day when the latest motion was put out a few weeks ago, and I watched how they spent the commentary considering, again, they don't want you to know all the efforts that were put into flipping key witnesses in both the New York trial and the Chicago trial, while the media will only emphasize certain points from the same exact motion. Now, if you missed my last upload, go back and watch that to give context to this video, considering, again, we know how much people watch these videos and try to discredit the information within that they don't want you to go and research and read about yourself, considering in that same motion that his attorneys were trying to get him released on a furlough, realistically, I think, in my opinion, that wasn't the major goal in putting in things in motion. I believe, in my opinion, the reason they put it all in motion was, again, to snap the awareness with the public, considering we don't see any focus on his case and any news about his case unless it's slanderous. But when it comes to real information that is backed up with real facts, people want to make light of the situation and not look at it as a whole.
Yeah. From Birmingham, Alabama to Memphis, Tennessee. Forever got a friend in me. I go by CT. Alicia talk your shit's naive. Hey, yo, know it the best.
Never been a phony bitch, I'm cocky and I'm too nice. Nothing like you bitches that be fucking on the first night. Niggas get caught thinking they be cheating on their own wife. Don't get mad at me cause I've been fresh like this my whole life. Any disrespect, you know we coming and it's on sight. Most you bitches rapping just be capping and you can't fight. Run it down on one of you hoes under the street light. All up on the internet trolling claim you got me right. I've been fighting demons, they've been chasing me my whole life. There's so many wrongs in my life, I gotta make right. This ain't what I imagined my life was supposed to be like. Hope that nigga when he make bail, then it was up right. All these niggas claiming they real, ain't even cut right. These niggas they be acting like bitches, they better get right. These niggas out here killing, taking chances when they don't like. These niggas out here switching to make bail, they ready to take flight.
Lisa, you ain't never lied. Niggas talking slick, then you know we gotta slide. I pray I catch these motherfuckers when they going live. You know I hit them up like Machiavelli still alive. If you play me like a pawn, find your body in the trunk. Hey, you smelling like a skunk while we smoking on that farm. Lies we the bomb, fuck a unfit trunk. Ballin' on these bitch made niggas slam dunk. Took a trip out to Houston to holler at my homegirl toy. Told Nisi the plan when we see old boy. Life is a game and it's time to roll the dice. Kill them all and let them live. Memphis nigga never been too nice. Hey, 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 hey.
Welcome to Prima Donna News, where we give unbiased commentary about trending topics, as well as expose the propaganda surrounding Robert Kelly. Make sure to hit the like button, share the content, and ensure all notifications are on all in order to get all notifications from our channel.
These are people who seek to kill Mr. Kelly rather than allow the corrupt criminal conduct of those who manufactured his convictions be exposed.
Guess them Tasha K exclusives done dried all up. And she's reduced to doing exactly what some of us have been doing, which is watching what is being released through mainstream media, watching what's being released in the paperwork, and reevaluating all of the shenanigans we've seen put on public display to keep people's attention away from all the propaganda that was dispersed. Now, clearly, we have known for quite some time that R. Kelly has been at Butner, and it should be also obvious why her lawsuit, as she indicated earlier in the video, is now in a position of being on stay pending what happens with all of the information that has been newly released. So when I spoke on the motion about R. Kelly being released, and I watched other people avoid the topic that his motion for a new trial is still pending, it should also bring to your attention again all of the ineffectiveness that we saw being put on public display between all of these attorneys. And even in his trial, when the judge mentions the ineffective counsel and people put all this information about the conflicts between Nicole Becker and the key witness, people spent more energy putting more information on these platforms instead of getting verified witnesses on the stand. Witnesses who could debunk the lies being told by these bad act witnesses. Clearly, even in the trial, when they put so much emphasis in delaying the information that led to the new information brought out by Bo Brentley, which we didn't know at the trial when it came to the key witness in the Chicago trial, it should be put into perspective, again, the massive level of corruption that was spent into flipping key witnesses in both trials. At the time of the trial, we were only told about specific breaches in confidential information with a specific witness, which was Azriel Clary. We didn't have the insight about a so-called informant linking Boss Baby, aka Rashona Landfair, and Azriel Clary. We overlooked how this man got on this platform and continuously talked about how he got all these individuals together. He did this, he did that. And while I consistently said these people meddling with the defense team should have put more thought into the team that was put together in the first place, we might have been able to avoid all of the unnecessary noise that was brought by individuals who we no longer see out here advocating on behalf of Robert Kelly, that only solidified certain charges that he was being held accountable of as the general public was being entertained. When you have witnesses that even debunk themselves, such as Demetrius Smith, who clearly indicated that Robert Kelly had nothing to do with bribery, it should also put into perspective. If Aaliyah was making so much money back in the day and was involved in some janky-ass food stamp fraud, for example, it may also put into perspective why some of these questionable characters who were allowed to keep surrounding Robert Kelly should have been separated from him in the first place, considering the prosecutors want us to believe that Robert Kelly's whole enterprise, his whole career was built off of exploiting women, even though he didn't profit a damn thing. Their ultimate goal was to seize his assets, as we all knew from the beginning. With that being said, it was not my place to try to overanalyze some of these people who he even gave credit to when his attorneys came out telling you that he was listening to some janky ass people giving janky ass advice, and even though their janky ass wasn't no better, it just puts into perspective all the things that I've been showing you regarding the matter. Now, with that being said, I'll conclude this video with this. Again, the motion for new trial is still pending, and a lot of people probably would like to get a pardon from Trump, but in my opinion, I think the better option would be a new trial to then fully vindicate Robert Kelly from all of these lies that were put out here at the height of Me Too that targeted him and took the focus off of so-called real trafficking going on in the industry, that exploited these so-called witnesses, that violated even their rights. And just a side note, if I was Rashona Landfair, aka Boss Baby, I wouldn't have settled with no damn janky ass Section 8 and other government benefits. I would have sued their ass for allowing other individuals to exploit her as a so-called victim. But that's a conversation that some of us couldn't hold with individuals claiming to be here to free R. Kelly and to support him, who clearly felt like it was him in the tape. That you can go to this same motion I'm referring to and see the FBI report from 2006. So ask yourself the $1,000,000 question. If they had all this so-called evidence, all these videos, all these tapes, why is it being referenced with this 2006 report about the fact that this witness could not be confirmed or denied, and everybody turned a blind eye as people went from trying to say that she was complicit in certain crimes, she was an accomplice at one point, and then going all out to make her the victim that they so desperately needed, just for old Auntie Sparkle to come out and say she perjured herself. I can't make this shit up. With all that being said, what do you think about the chances of R. Kelly getting a new trial and exposing all of the corruption that occurred during his others? What do you think about the fact that people don't want to talk about the corruption that went on in his case, the fact that he can't be a one-man Rico just like Diddy can't be a one-man Rico, and that all of these allegations that clearly overwhelmed an ineffective defense team should have been more of the focus than what this person says or this person says, which is the biggest issue I have had with individuals trying to insert their commentary on top of my commentary instead of pulling out paperwork and or doing their own research to make this shit make sense. It was not for me to associate R. Kelly with janky ass people, incriminate his attorneys, do so much to blur the lines when it comes to valid information, and miss all of the key elements that made up this janky ass Rico from the beginning, when we were being distracted by crisis actors, if you ask me, that couldn't stick to the script. I think it would be a new day if all of these individuals who put in so much work were brought in and put back on the stand. If all of these previous witnesses were brought back in and put back on the stand. If all of the propaganda they put out here, including the fact that they couldn't even go get this man's medical records to confirm a so-called exposure, instead of allowing a janky-ass doctor get on the stand and testify to some bullshit. At the end of the day, all of the extra fluff that was put into this case shall be exposed.
I have a whole account in his name, and I hold his money that I can't even touch. Is like at least $4 million in that bitch, and I can't even touch it. And you're telling me everything's okay. Years later, everything's okay. I need you to do this. I need you to say this. You had Nicole reach out to me.
Ask him how he got R. Kelly's jail records. Ask him how I got the emails between Azrael and R. Kelly. So you mean to tell me I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about?